are absolutely thrilled to introduce Mr. Oommen Mammen, CFO of Muthoot Finance Limited, as he explains to us about the organization and the upcoming bond public issue. Mr. Mammen has been with Muthoot Group for almost 20 years and has played a major role in the growth trajectory of Muthoot Finance Limited, including its IPOs and scaling up the overall portfolio. Thank you for joining us today, Mr. Oommen. It's a privilege to have you here, and we appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to come and interact with our audience. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Harith. That was a wonderful introduction. And first of all, let me thank IndiaBonds for organizing this webinar. It gives us an opportunity to brief our prospective investors about the company, as well as explain to the investors about the strengths of Muthoot, as well as the strategies, as well as the present proposed present board, which is bond issuance, which is going to open. This is the 26th public issue of secured non-convertible debentures by Muthoot Finance. The issue is opening on April 7th, and it is supposed to close on 28th April. However, we'll be able to pre-close the issue in case the issue achieves the oversubscription prior to that. This is the statutory disclaimer. So a brief overview. Muthoot Finance is the largest gold loan NBFC in the country. This is as per ICRA Analytics report 2021, based on March 31st, 2021 report. They have also stated that Muthoot Finance has the largest branch network among gold loan NBFCs in India. So as the primary business, we are into lending against gold jewelry. We don't finance against bullion or gold coins, etc. We finance only what we call it household used gold jewelry, which is normally worn by the general people. Apart from the gold loans, we have a little bit of other services like money transfer. We have some collection services. We also do a little bit of a business loans. We also do personal loans. But out of maybe as of March 31st, 2021, out of about 51,400 crores of portfolio, these loans will be about 400 crores. Out of that, most major portfolio comes from personal loan, which is about 300 crores. So almost entire lending portfolio consists of gold loans. We have presence in 29 states. We have 4,600 plus branches. We have 26,000 plus employees. We have 8.85 lakh or 8.5 million loan accounts. And as of December, our loan portfolio stands at 54,687 crores. In terms of strategies, see, we are currently at about 4,600 number of branches. Going forward, branch expansion is a key, but it's not like in the past. We'll be solely focusing on branch expansion. Increasing the number of customers is a focus area that comes to the second strategy. Continue to target new segments. We would like to target new customer segment. The stigma attached to the gold loan as a product is slowly vanishing. We are seeing more and more upper income segments coming and taking a gold loan. So we are trying to position this gold loan as a lifestyle product so that we can target the upper income segments. We have launched campaigns like Muthoot Finance series, which means golden thoughts. So this year we have launched season 2. Which with actors Madhuri Dixit, etc. Just to showcase how to unlock the true potential of this gold jewelry, so that our customers are able to achieve their aims and aspirations. So we have been able to attract new customers, which we will continue to focus. The strategy is, we have moved from an unincorporated entity called Muthoot Bankers. We became an NBFC, which was an unlisted entity. We became a listed entity. So in the transition, we have been improving our ratings, credit ratings, and as we progress with a higher ratings, we have been able to borrow from the institutions at a better rate, better level, and we have been able to reduce our borrowing costs, which we continue to do so, especially from the institutional investors. However, we understand that the requirements of a retail and HNI investors are different. We are providing in this issue 50 basis points markup above the base rate. That is the rate which is offered to the institutions, plus another 50 basis, because the ticket size is small for a retail investors. For it to for him to become the investment to be meaningful, we thought we should offer something higher than what we are offering to institutional investors. And the fourth strength is the strategies is to operate strengthen operating process and risk management system. So we have a large internal audit team which consists of about close to 1,000 members, whose only job is to ensure that the quality of collateral which we accept for lending is as per the standard set by the corporate office. Ensure that there is no losses happening to the company as well as to the customers. So we also have a risk management department who takes care of all these the risk which we are exposed to it, and there is a risk management committee at the board level who oversees these functions. So these are the strategies which we adopt to strengthen the portfolio, manage the vision of the company, and manage the growth of the company. Now, coming to the proposed INC 26 public issue, I'd like to mention the highlights. So, secured redeemable non-convertible debentures. The base issue is 100 crores. We have the right to retain oversubscription of another 400 crores. We have tenors of 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, and 10 years. There is a monthly option, there is an annual option, and there is a on maturity payment. That means there is no coupon in between, only the maturity amount will be paid at the end of the tenor. The coupon rate starts from 7% to 8% for the retail, for the HNIs as well as HNI and retail investors. It is rated by ICRA with a AA plus stable rating. As you all know, AA plus is just one notch below the AAA. And we are proposing to list these NCDs in BSE. BSE is the designated stock exchange. Depositories are NSDL and CDSL. As you might be aware, because it's in demat form, there is no TDS applicable to you. Even if you have these interests are taxable, so you have to take care of the payment of advance tax on these income. So if you don't have a taxable income, then you are benefited because there is no upfront TDS being deducted by the company. Use of proceeds, this funds raised, we have 75% of the amount is intended to be used for lending purposes, which is primarily gold loan. So that is a minimum percentage, and mostly we also mentioned about general corporate purpose because part of the process, the proceeds, we use it for meeting the expenditures, etc. of this issuance. But no, most of these amounts are minimum of 75% is utilized for lending purposes. So the issue is going to open on 7th April and proposed to close on 28th April. We reserve our rights to pre-close the issue in prior to 28th also. There are 4 categories. Category 1 is mostly institutional investors. Category 2 is non-institutional investors. Category 3 is the individual investors with applications about 10 lakhs. Category 4 is a retail. That means applications less than 10 lakhs. Retail applications less than, individual applications less than 10 lakhs. So these are the rates which I mentioned. The key point is, though company is able to raise funds from the institutions at a lower, as I said, we would like to diversify our sources of funding. And because retail, the ticket size is low, it's not a wholesale funding. We are providing a markup on the institutional rate, which is about 50 basis points higher than the institutional rate. Hence, the rates are attractive. So we are providing options to investors on a monthly interest payment basis, annual interest payment basis, and on maturity payment. So investors can follow a mix of these options depending upon his income requirements. Some investors might need a monthly payment to meet his expenses, so they can opt for a monthly option. Some investors require only an annual option, so they can go for the annual option. Some people, investors may not need any interest payment in between, so they can look at on maturity payment. For few investors, we have also kept a 7-year and a 10-year annual interest payment options. Those investors who want to lock at this current rate, even if there is a increase in interest rates in future, still they are protected, because the rates on our 7-year and 10-year are sufficiently at much higher level than the lowest level. So the monthly interest payment on a 3-year tenor is 7%, whereas the annual interest payment on a 84-month and a 7-year and a 10-year option is 7.75 and 8%. So there is a lot of cushion available, even if the rates are going to increase in future. But the advantage is that they can get this higher rate right from now. As I said, 50% of the issue is reserved for the retail individual investors. 40% is reserved for HNA investors, and only 10% is for institutional and non-institutional investors. So the focus is on the retail individual investors, and as well as HNIs. So there is a, SEBI has brought this UPA mechanism. You don't have to, go through the hassle of this, the ASBA mechanism. UPA is very convenient. However, the limit on the UPA currently it is 2 lakhs. From the next issue onwards, probably we'll be able to increase it to 5 lakhs. But currently the limit is 2 lakhs. So if your application form is less than 2 lakhs or up to 2 lakhs, you can certainly use the UPA mechanisms, which is it is a paperless mechanism for you to make the payments. The funds will not be going out of your bank account. It will be blocked in your bank account. So those applications above 2 lakh, they can use the ASBA mechanism. Our the managers to the issue are AK Capital Services. Our registrars is Link in Time. Our debenture trustees are IDBA trustee. That comes to the end of my presentation. Over to you, Harith. I'll be happy to take any queries if you have received.
Thank you, Mr. Oommen. I'm sure the audience will agree with me when I say that this has been unquestionably a very informative session, getting to know about the organization and the upcoming NCD issues. Sir, we have a few questions posted by the audience, and I would like to take these questions. The first question is, what is the minimum application value for the NCD?
So the minimum application amount is 10,000 rupees. They can even select one options and then aggregate it to 10,000. So from a single option, they can even select a single unit, but aggregate it should be 10,000 rupees.
Oh, so as an investor, I can go as low as 10,000 rupees and apply for the NCD issue.
Correct.
Yeah, very good. So there's one more question. Are there any special benefits for individual investors and senior citizens in this NCD issue?
Yeah, I think I already explained. See, the company is able to raise funds at a much lesser rate from the institutional investors. So considering that the ticket size of these retail investors are lower, we have provided a markup above the institutional rate. That comes to about 50 basis points. So the rates are well positioned or very attractive as far as the retail and HNI investors are concerned.
Retail investors are typically always worried about the liquidity of the NCD issues. So you mentioned that these NCDs will be tradable on stock exchange. So I was hearing correctly?
Yeah. So these NCDs are going to be listed in BSE, and you can sell even a 1 unit of debenture. You can sell. Of course, there has to be a buyer, but what we have observed is there is a reasonable liquidity in our bonds. Of course, it's not like trading in the shares, but there is a reasonable liquidity. You can, if you want to sell, you will be able to sell. Of course, depending on the price at that point of time, the realization value can change according to the market situation.
Okay. You have mentioned one thing that these are secured NCDs. There is one question: are these NCDs secured? If yes, then what is the underlying security?
So these NCDs are 100% secured. We call it one-time security cover. These are all secured against the receivables primarily of the company. We call it current assets, book debts, and receivables, including gold loan receivables. As I said, we are primarily into gold loan business, which is a highly secured loan asset class.
So there is one more very interesting question. The audience has asked is, what is the reason MFL doesn't provide loan against non-jewelry gold, like gold bars?
As per RBI regulations, we are not allowed to. But even before the RBI regulations came, we were not lending against bars. See, the reason it's, I can explain. It will take about 2-3 minutes. See, we are lending only against household gold jewelry, and we want these jewelries to be taken back by the borrowers. Now, mostly these jewelries are held by the women, and there is always a pull factor for the family to take back this ornament. And so if it is a bar, there is no that family attachment is not there. There is no sentimental attachment is not there. So even if the borrower loses the gold bar, he can easily buy a new one, right? But in case if it is a wedding ring or a wedding chain or something which is inherited, it's it has no you cannot replace it.
Emotional attachment to the
emotional attachment. So that is something which is embedded into our business model, apart from the regulatory restrictions.